know. I don't know.
Well, what's your theory then? You must have an idea.
My theory is that we should investigate everything strange that happened on that day so we can figure out what happened.
But are you suggesting that?
Are
you suggesting
why is everybody
Egypt?
why are we pretending that we don't know why we ask questions? Like why? Like you're a journalist.
But you know
what this is. You're like, what's going on? What's going on? Why do you want to know why these planes were tracking Charlie? Well, my theory is that we are being sold absolute Fed slop. The media is doing their Operation Mockingbird Part 2 scenario by telling us, well, unless you absolutely have a conclusion, you can't even ask the question. Yes, we very well can. Keep asking consistent questions until we get a clarified explanation for what happened on that day. And right now, we have nothing, okay? And that is the reason why people are watching my show, because I'm the only one not treating them like they're absolute idiots who don't have two eyes and who believe in magic bully theory and who understand that Egyptian planes should not have been tracking Charlie even 3 times this year would be an anomaly, okay? They've been tracking him. We don't know where it's going to end, but we are going to keep asking questions until we get clear answers.
Candace. She's behaving just like people that she's been debating for years. You know, she's acting just like them. Well, so Patricia, right on cue, Canary King is here. Okay, Canary King, we are going to be talking about 3i Atlas. Don't worry, we're just trying to get this out of the way. Okay, so yeah, so she's acting like the people that she's debated for years, you know, talking over. Well, she does that, you know, regularly, but this time around, she's on the back foot and she's not, I don't know, she doesn't look good.
I don't know what's happened to her. I think her head got.
It may be that the person.
You think her what?
Her head got filled up with air and she became a balloon head.
Well, it's sad to watch. It's sad to watch. Okay, so let's keep going.
In the media, spewing bullshit to the public is you.
No, nice try. It's not. It's you by saying, why are you asking questions? Don't you worry about Mikey's feelings? Everyone knows what this is. And like I said, because we have the example, the concrete example of after JFK's assassination, the media members quite literally being put on the payroll of the CIA, we have a historical example that we can look at and go, we're not doing that again. Doesn't matter how many times you keep telling the public that I'm spewing bullshit. It is only because there has not been anything that has come out of this investigation that makes any sense that the public is not listening to. I am sorry to say this, Piers, people like you. And what I love about you and I sitting down is that this exact same time last year, you were doing the same weird questioning and making all these things when I said that they were committing a Holocaust against the Gazans, and then you changed your mind.
Actually,
Piers,
this time,
I'll see you next year when you change your mind again, and we have more information about what happened, and you realize that the difference between me and you is that I have the courage to take the risks and ask the questions first, okay, before it's popular. You wait until it becomes popular, and then you change your mind.
All right, so Canary King says Candace is on fire. He says hi, Patricia, and he also says she seems to have taken the Charlie loss hard. Now let's listen to. I want us to listen to another video. And it is coming from Tim Pool. Okay, so Tim Pool has this to say about the entire situation, and we'll just talk about it, you know, before we move on.
This is injecting paranoid delusional states into people's brains. The question then is, why is YouTube allowing it, propping her up for so many people when what she does is clearly against their rules? Now, let me be clear. I am not calling for Candace to be censored in any way. I think sunlight is the best disinfectant. However, it is particularly difficult to disinfect the garbage when YouTube shadow bans and shuts you down and puts her on the front page. So how do you combat? There's the question. Why is she allowed to say things that YouTube has clearly banned? To get started, I guess.
I mean, in a strictly mercenary sense, I guess, do you think that it's just that she is bringing in so many views and so much money that YouTube has decided just to give her a pass? I mean, she has, 7 million subscribers, and she's tearing it up online. So I don't know. You think it's more calculated than that politically?
Absolutely. And I'll say it like this. Like Timcast IRL, for instance, typically is one of the largest streams. We're a political off here. I got no problem saying that. And we did split our audience with Rumble when we did this deal. But for years, we would be doing on YouTube maybe like 40 to 50,000 concurrents, always the top spot for the primetime slot, and YouTube suppressed our channel. They deleted, they banned our Alex Jones, Joe Rogan episode, and we didn't do anything, and they made up fake reasons to do it. And I told the people at YouTube, I said, if you just explain to me what I did wrong, we will avoid that pitfall in the future. And they said, no. I'm like, okay. So they actively suppress, and of course it's not just us. The issue then is, Candace goes on her show and she's a flat earther. Which, I'm sorry, she's not a flat earther or a round earther. Yeah. She's left the cult of science. She says things that YouTube explicitly stated in their rules and in press announcements they will suppress and bar. Not her, though. I think it's actually pretty obvious. She either intentionally or ignorantly is destroying the right populist movement, making people on the right go insane, and it's going to help Democrats win. It's going to help the Democrats be able to give children sex changes.
Okay, so that's Tim Pool. So we heard a clip from the Piers Morgan interview with Candace Owens. This isn't that segment of the interview was essentially one of the most neutral clips that basically didn't make Candace look bad or Piers Morgan look bad or anything. It was more like her stating her case and Piers Morgan pushing back. There are other clips that make her look really bad, but I don't think it's fair to just play those clips, just to do so. But from everything that we've seen so far, with all of the content she's been putting out on the Charlie Kirk assassination, pointing at Israel, then she's pointing at the federal government, then she's pointing at people within Turning Point. It's very easy for anyone, myself included, to say that, look, this isn't good. It's almost like everyone is a suspect now. You can't trust anyone. And at some point, it was said that she even said that Erica was covering up something about Charlie Kirk's assassination. I saw an interview where she was talking with someone who claims that the week before Charlie was assassinated, that she was seen visiting a military base with one of the employees of Turning Point. So what does all of that mean?
Well, I'd heard that Erica Kirk arranged a private meeting with Candace Owens. And she was very upset at what Candace Owens was claiming without any evidence to back her up about it. And especially about the Turning Point people being involved in Charlie Kirk's death.
Yeah.
And not one time have I heard Candace mention Antifa connection. Have you?
No, when the letter from the person who assassinated Charlie Kirk to his boyfriend was discovered, she read it out loud and claimed that it looked like a CIA frame job, because the letter wasn't exactly, it didn't sound like something that people wrote to each other. It looked very much staged. It looked like a staged letter, and that's what she said. She said it months ago, and she essentially, like that in, I think that was the beginning of her walking away from any insinuation that Antifa had anything to do with this.
Hey, she thinks the CIA couldn't fabricate something that would look authentic. Really?
I don't know.
And then you go back to Russia, and that big whole hoax. And I'm looking at Candace when she's saying this stuff, and I'm going, where's her brain? Who does she think is the CIA? A bunch of cartoon experts? They can put on a show that makes you think that you are losing your own mind.
Yeah.
And they're good at it. They're excellent at it.
Yeah.
Look at Mark Kelly with this woman that used to be in the CIA standing beside him, telling people, military soldiers, to not follow orders, and how they made it sound. And Candace Owens thinks that the CIA would write something up that would look fake. No.
No, it doesn't make sense. All right, guys, if you're watching, the call-in link is open. You can call in or you can send your reactions in the chat or in the comment section to let us know what you think about this conversation. We're going to be wrapping up this conversation around Candace Owens in a bit, and then we're going to move on to the 3i Atlas situation. Meanwhile, while we were all enjoying our dinners or hanging out with our families, there was a strike, a U.S. strike on ISIS in Syria that took place moments ago. President Trump is going to be making a speech in about 48 minutes. And if we're able to, as soon as we see him go live, we're going to join that speech to hear what he has to say. If he mentions anything about the strike on ISIS, we're going to be here to listen to it. But in the meantime, let's talk about Candace Owens, and then we're also going to be looking at the 3i Atlas. Now, just as a sweetener, if you haven't heard of the 3i Atlas comet, it's a comet that was discovered a few months back. I think this was in May. But a few people claim that it was noticed last year, and it appears to have some qualities that make people think that it is not a comet, that it might be a spaceship. So we're going to be looking at several videos. One from a scientist that is essentially cleared, has top secret clearance from NASA, and then we're going to look at a hobbyist who has been taking photographs of the comet, and then you let us know what you think in the chat. We are not going to, we want this to be about us having a conversation, okay? So Patricia and I are going to be talking. You're going to be talking. The phone lines are open. Let us know your thoughts, and we will love to have you share in this conversation. Now, I'm going to look for that video where it was claimed. I'm going to download it. Just give me a moment. I'm going to download this video and I'm going to play. This is the video where someone showed up on her show claiming that Erica was visited a military installation. They are insinuating that there is a conspiracy afoot. And to be honest, I'm not a fan of these kinds of conversations because this is where conspiracy theories, begin. And to be honest, I don't know what to think right now. So we'll just listen to this report and then you let me know what you think in the chat. Patricia, you let me know what you think because this person seems to be convinced that they know what they're talking about.
By the time we wheeled down that, we got the news about Charlie Kirk. And of course, that's been just all over the news. Everybody's watching it. And once I saw a picture of somebody in a ponytail with those eyes, that was that person. They were there. And yeah, the head of security there, he was one of the people walking out with the congressman. Now, how would I know that? I just have a gift for recognizing people. And yeah, maybe it's not him. Maybe he has doppelganger, but somebody with the same mannerisms, the same crick in his neck, face, the waxy look on his face, hand gestures, shoulder shrug, gait, approximate height, haircut, definitely walked past me. And
If
in
you
the
had
hotel,
to put it at a percentage that you were looking at Brian Harpole, maybe he's got a brother in the military, who knows, right? Maybe he does have a doppelganger, he's got a twin brother, who knows? And I want to be clear, I can confirm on this podcast live every step of your story in terms of where you went, what time you were there, that there was this big meeting that happened. I confirmed the location with other people that are on Fort Huachuca currently. I can confirm everything with metadata. I obviously can't confirm that you saw who you say you saw. If you had to put it at a percentage that you saw Brian Harpole, what percentage would you put it at?
95.
95%. Okay.
95 to 99. I mean, when I saw him, on the interview with his face and gestures, with that photo, it struck me in my gut.
All right. So,
Who is he?
this individual is an eyewitness that says that he saw Charlie Kirk's head of security, Erica Kirk, and Congressman Mark Amodai in a secret Fort Huachuca. I don't know how to say that. Huachuca meeting a day before Charlie Kirk was assassinated.
This
So-
was supposed to happen on a military base.
Well, look, the thing that baffles me is this. Okay, we've all watched Charlie Kirk's trajectory. We followed his history. We've all watched Candace Owens' trajectory and her history, and we're hearing things. And honestly, with eyewitnesses like this, people who say that they saw things and show up on her show to say things like this, it's more like, okay, so what is the problem exactly? Is it that Candace Owens is putting her own spin on the reports she's getting, or is she simply putting people out there on her show to say, here's what these people are saying? It's raising serious questions about this situation. Canary King just corrected me, says it is Huachuca. Thank you so much for that, Huachuca. I'm African. I read consonants and vowels. I read every vowel that I see on the screen. So for me, I feel awkward about what's going on with Candace Owens. I feel awkward about the confrontations that I'm seeing online, accusing her of accusing Erica of being involved in Charlie's assassination. But we're seeing this report, this eyewitness report that essentially appears to be the source of that conversation around, okay, Erica might have been involved. But if they were at a military base,
How
look,
was he on it? That's what I wanted. What connection did he have to be
Okay.
on a military base? Because you just can't walk up to one and say, I want to come in.
yeah. So let's see.
That's where they've lost me right there on his.
Yeah. So
is him saying he's seen them on a military base. How did he
Yeah.
get on the base?
yeah, I'm reading the caption, and I can't see anything, that tells us his bona fides. We don't know who he is, what he. We may have to watch the entire show. The link to the entire show is out there, so you could do that privately. But the focus of this segment is essentially, Look at what Canary King says. He says, "Is it just me, or does Candace seem to be in love with Charlie?" Candace was already married to her husband before Charlie got married to Erica.
Yeah.
Candace met her husband, George Farmer, a couple of years before Charlie met Erica. She told Charlie about meeting George in England and immediately began to discuss marrying him and so on. And Charlie was like, "Hey, you're usually calm and more calculated about things like this. This is not like you." So I don't think it, people say she was in love with him. Well, if anything was going to happen, it could have happened, much sooner. And I don't think that is the case. I don't think that's the case.
Well,
that's my opinion.
Because people have made the statement that Charlie Kirk was the reason Trump won the election because of his work with the younger people in the country.
Yep.
And is this what she's after? Is that status?
Well, she can't step into a leadership role at Turning Point and suddenly gain that status. So for me, that doesn't make sense either. It doesn't make sense either. But
with the conspiracy theories.
Well, what I would say is the only thing that makes sense to me is for the last year, she's been going down different rabbit holes. And she's cultivated a fan base that loves the fact that she goes down these rabbit holes. She talked about I forget what it's called, but the situation where an Israeli aircraft fired on or attacked or sunk a U.S. ship, and they wanted to say that it was an Iranian plane that did that. She covered that last year. It was very controversial. That was where she began her spiral into the whole everything that goes wrong in the world is coming from Israel, because if Israel could attack an ally's ship, there's nothing too dastardly for them to do. And she began to spiral down that rabbit hole. Of course, she had been saying things about what was going on in Gaza for a while, but I think that story, took her on a further spiral. The second thing was the situation with the Macrons. Okay. Yeah. A lot of people gave her a lot of support with the Macrons. And she has systematically built an audience that wants stories like that. The third thing was the story with Kamala Harris. That was interesting for people who didn't like Kamala Harris. She interviewed family members, people who said they knew her, people who said they knew her father and everything. So it was fascinating for people who were conservatives and who didn't want Kamala Harris to win. It generated that crowd that she eventually built up to, that she now caters to. So for her to come up with her investigative conclusions about Charlie was definitely going to skew in this direction because of the audience she had been generating. That is my theory. That's my theory because...
Well, now I understand why she went after Cam Higsby. He went to Gaza. He went into Gaza. He talked to people in Gaza. He's seen the people getting the food, that they weren't starving. So that's why she's got a vendetta out with him, because she didn't go to Gaza.
Yeah.
She didn't go over to Israel and Gaza and talk to people.
Yeah.
But she come up with all these theories about what was going on in Gaza.
Yeah.
And she's put no boots on the ground.
Yeah. Like I said, I think the culprit is her audience. But she's also complicit because she hasn't tempered the expectations of her audience.
No.
If someone boots on the ground, goes somewhere, brings back evidence and says, hey, this is what's going on over here, I think it would be smart for her to say, well, if that's the evidence, come on my show, let's have a conversation and let's balance things out for the audience. But I think I don't know if she invited him. I don't know what transpired between her and Cam Higbee.
I don't think she invited him on her show. She just attacked him.
Like, it's simple. You were boots on the ground. Let's have a conversation. Hey, this person said that they were boots on the ground. This is what they saw. Maybe I should be boots on the ground to go see it for myself. I mean, it's really that simple. But whenever you have an audience that simply wants rabid takes on different things, it's really not a good look. So, okay, we're about to switch gears over to the 3i Atlas. We've spent about 25 minutes on Candace. This is juicy stuff, but we promised that we will be covering the 3i Atlas story. I've given you the cliff notes. 3i Atlas is a comet that was spotted last year.
It's an interstellar. It's one that came from outside of our universe. Yeah,
outside of the solar system. Yeah. So it's usually the comets have an elliptical trajectory around our sun. So they always take one trip around the sun, but interstellar comets come from outside of the solar system and they're not held by the gravitational pull of our sun. So they usually enter and leave the solar system. However, what we're hearing now is that after it arrived and it's basically in a holding pattern. It's in a holding pattern within distance of our moon and Earth.
Yes.
And a few days ago, it released a signal. The signal was said to have hit the far side of the moon, and we picked up the signal. So let's see. Let's watch the NASA expert first. Forget his last name. All right, so we're gonna watch now. The guy we're about to watch has top clearance from NASA. We're going to listen to him, and then we're going to listen to someone who is a hobbyist. I think he's also a scientist with his own telescope. I think he's in India, and he's been observing the.
He's taking pictures, actual photos.
Yeah, so we're going to take a look at that, and we're going to talk about it. So, Pat. Just feel free to tell me to pause if you want to explain anything. I'll just run through. If there's a spot where I think we should talk about something, I'm going to pause and then we'll talk. If you're watching, please let's know your thoughts in the chat.
This is why I've been saying zap my 3i Atlas.
Yeah.
Because something weird's going on with this thing, and I just...
Yeah, they think that this is a vessel, a spaceship. It's not behaving like a comet.
There's one theory out there that it's from an intergalactic group that is going to quarantine Earth.
Okay.
So humans can't escape out into the universe. And I've always said, if I was an alien, I wouldn't want humans out there making the universe. Because look at us.
So is this Elon's fault?
Well,
because Elon has been broadcasting for years now that we need to go to Mars. So I guess it's Elon's fault. They picked up on those transmissions and said no.
We're an alien force looking at our world. And studying it and studying the people on this planet. And you see all these wars all over the place. Not just one place, but all over the place. All this discourse on this planet. Would you really want those people out running around mucking up the universe?
Nope.
No, you wouldn't. I would contain us until we got our stuff together.
Yeah.
No, you can't go flying around out here. We don't want you starting wars out here.
All right, so let's have a listen and then give us your thoughts in the chat. We're going to read your chat. We're going to talk about this because this is weird.
It's weird.
I've been a theoretical physicist for over 4 decades, and I've seen equations that bend spacetime, particles that vanish into quantum foam, and black holes that devour entire star systems. But nothing, and I mean nothing, prepared me for what happened 3 nights ago when 3I Atlas released a pulse toward the moon that should not exist. Before we begin, I need you to do something for me. Comment your city name below and tell me, have you noticed anything unusual in the night sky? Lights that don't move like satellites? A hum you can't explain? NASA isn't asking these questions publicly, but they're collecting data from civilians worldwide. Your observation might be the missing piece. Now, what I'm about to share may change the way you see humanity's place in the universe. Let me take you back to October 2024. That's when amateur astronomer Gennady Borisov first detected what we thought was just another interstellar comet passing through our solar system. We cataloged it as 3I Atlas, the third confirmed interstellar object ever recorded by humanity. After Oumuamua in 2017 and Borisov in 2019, we believed we understood the pattern. These were cosmic wanderers, frozen relics from other star systems drifting through the void on million-year journeys dictated purely by gravity and inertia. We were wrong. 3I Atlas entered our solar system at a velocity that initially seemed consistent with gravitational models. Its trajectory suggested a hyperbolic orbit, the signature of something not bound by our sun's gravity, something just passing through. The scientific community took note, certainly, but there was no alarm. Comets and asteroids have been visiting our cosmic neighborhood since the solar system formed 4.5 billion years ago. This was science. This was routine. But then came the anomaly. In January 2025, Dr. Sarah Chen at the Deep Space Network facility in Canberra detected something that made her physically step away from her console. She told me later that her hands were shaking so badly she couldn't type the incident report. 3I Atlas had emitted a pulse, not a natural outgassing event, not a fragment breaking away from tidal stress, but a coherent directional electromagnetic pulse aimed with surgical precision at Earth's moon. Now I need you to understand what this means from a physics standpoint. Natural celestial objects don't aim. They don't calculate trajectories. They don't fire directed energy bursts at specific targets. The mathematics of what Dr. Chen detected would require not just intelligence, but technology, advanced technology. The kind of technology that understands orbital mechanics, electromagnetic propagation, and perhaps most disturbingly, intentional communication. I was brought into the investigation on January 29th. The call came at 2:47 a.m. When NASA calls you before dawn, you know humanity's understanding of reality is about to shift. They didn't brief me over the phone. They sent a car.
Pat, can you tell the audience who he is?
He is a scientist. He's a quantum scientist, and he's been noted. He's a brilliant-minded, and yes, he's consulted with NASA on a lot of different things.
Yep.
And he's well known in his circles. So when he tells you something, pay attention.
Yeah.
He's not talking off the cuff.
Yeah. So I just wanted the audience to know that this guy has, like, he's the real deal.
He's got credentials.
Yeah, he's the real deal. So when someone like this is talking about this, he's not like me. Okay, I don't know. Like, I don't just pick up on things and run with them. And you have to believe me. He's been studying this for decades. So let's keep listening. Now, remember, leave your questions or comments or observations in the chat. We're going to talk about it.
That's when I knew this was different. That's when I first felt the cold weight of genuine cosmic dread settle into my chest. The data I reviewed in that classified briefing room exists in my memory like a scar. The pulse from 3I Atlas wasn't random electromagnetic noise. It was structured. It contained layers of information nested within carrier waves at frequencies that shouldn't occur naturally in space. The signal operated at 1,420 megahertz. The hydrogen line, the same frequency SETI has been monitoring for decades as the most probable channel for extraterrestrial communication. But this wasn't a signal traveling light years from some distant star system. This was right here, in our solar system, less than 2 astronomical units from Earth. The pulse lasted exactly 47 seconds. And within those 47 seconds, embedded in mathematical structures we're still trying to fully decode, was something that stopped my breath. A countdown. Not in human numbers, not in any terrestrial system, but in pure mathematical progressions that any sufficiently advanced intelligence would recognize. The Fibonacci sequence, prime numbers, the fundamental constants of physics, the speed of light, Planck's constant, the fine structure constant, and then coordinates, lunar coordinates pointing to Mare Tranquillitatis, the Sea of Tranquility, the exact location where Apollo 11 landed in 1969. Some of you watching this right now are thinking, I've lost my mind. You're thinking this sounds like science fiction. I wish it were. I wish I could wake up tomorrow and discover this was an elaborate hoax or a...
You know, do you know what this reminds me of? It reminds me of Independence Day, the movie. Yeah. Seriously.
Yes, it does.
It does, but it's like, okay, I don't know. I'm looking at the chat, and it seems like people are as stunned as I am. So let's keep listening. I guess when we start talking, we're going to have a lot of chatter. So let's keep going.
A misinterpretation of natural phenomena. But the data doesn't lie. The mathematics doesn't deceive. And when 17 independent observatories on 5 continents confirm the same impossible readings, you're forced to confront a truth
17.
That humanity has been unconsciously dreading since we first looked up at the stars and asked, are we alone? The answer has always been no. We've just been too primitive to recognize the evidence. Here's what makes 3I Atlas truly terrifying. Its composition is wrong. Spectroscopic analysis shows surface materials that don't match any known comet profile. There are metallic signatures, refined metals, not the raw minerals you'd expect from a natural object. Titanium, chromium, alloys that require industrial processing, and its albedo, the way it reflects sunlight, changes. Natural objects don't do that. Natural objects don't adjust their reflectivity based on solar angle and observation conditions. It's camouflaging itself. The pulse toward the moon wasn't 3I Atlas's first activity. We just didn't recognize the earlier signs because we weren't looking for them. After that January incident, NASA tasked AI systems with analyzing archival data going back to when 3I Atlas first entered detectability range. What they found chilled every scientist in the room. 3I Atlas had been scanning for months. Low-intensity radar emissions sweeping across Earth's satellite constellation, mapping our GPS networks, our communication satellites, our orbital defense systems. It was learning, studying, assessing our technological capabilities with the methodical precision of a scout mission, and then it sent the pulse to the moon.
So essentially, it's been sending signals, scanning our solar system for the last, 12 months?
Yeah.
Or the last year?
For last year. Yep.
Oh, geez. Okay.
Question that haunts me, the question I cannot answer, is why? What's on the moon? What did 3I Atlas wake up? There are structures on the moon we don't talk about publicly. Anomalies photographed by Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter that don't fit geological models. Perfectly geometric formations in crater floors. Reflective surfaces at depths where no ice should exist. The scientific community has explanations. Impact processes, unusual mineralogy, tricks of light and shadow. But after 3I Atlas sent that pulse to Mare Tranquillitatis, 3 separate lunar seismometers detected activity. The moon doesn't have tectonic plates. It's geologically dead. It shouldn't produce seismic readings, but it did. Something responded. I've spent my entire career explaining the universe through elegant equations and testable hypotheses. String theory, quantum mechanics, the fundamental forces that govern reality. But there are moments when the universe reveals that our understanding is so laughably incomplete, so embarrassingly primitive, that we're like ants trying to comprehend nuclear physics. This is one of those moments. The pulse from 3I Atlas contained one more element we haven't discussed publicly until now: audio data. When converted from electromagnetic frequencies into sound waves humans can perceive, the signal produces something that shouldn't be possible. Music. Not random noise interpreted as music, but actual harmonic progressions, mathematical relationships between frequencies that create what we recognize as melody. It's beautiful, it's alien, and it's a message encoded in the universal language of mathematics. Our cryptographers are still analyzing it, but preliminary decoding suggests it's not just a greeting, it's a warning, or perhaps an invitation. The mathematics implies temporal coordinates, not where, but when. Specific moments in Earth's history marked by electromagnetic events. The Carrington event of 1859, the Tunguska explosion in 1908, the WOW signal in 1977. The signal suggests these weren't random cosmic accidents. They were communications we failed to recognize. We've been receiving messages for over a century. We were just too deaf to hear them.
Okay. All right. So
that Tunguska incident he's talking about is when a asteroid struck over Russia and exploded in the air and leveled a massive area of trees. And they all fanned out from one central point.
Wow. Okay, I never heard of that.
Yeah. I've seen pictures of it. It's baffling.
Wow.
All these trees are fanned out from one central point and just
so essentially the signals that 3I Atlas has been sending to NASA, or at least that has been picked up by SETI and NASA and 17 research institutes, contained historical records of things that have happened over the last century on the Earth, and it's essentially telling us at these dates something happened, and I was trying to tell you about it, but you weren't able to pick up on those signals.
Yeah, you weren't listening.
All right, guys. The chat is open. The call-in line is open. Okay. If, like, for me, I'm trying to piece all of this together and just be very.
When we landed on the moon.
Yep.
Our lunar module.
Yep.
Using side radar. And that was something that was kind of peculiar, since there was nothing for the side radar to detect while they were landing. There were no mountains, no cliffs, none of that.
Yep.
And there's been comments made by many scientists that weren't a part of NASA about why that happened. And there was reports of that radio silence that occurred during the landing, that they seen ships on the horizon of the dark side of the moon.
Really?
Yeah, that were just watching them. So that was some of the things that, did it or didn't it?
Okay. All right, let's keep going because we still have some more to hear.
Now let me share something that will fundamentally alter your understanding of humanity's position in the cosmic hierarchy. The scientific community has been operating under what we call the lonely cosmos hypothesis. The idea that intelligent life is so rare, so improbable, that we might be the only conscious observers in billions of light years. This hypothesis has always comforted us because it places humanity at the center of cosmic significance. It's completely wrong. The evidence from 3I Atlas, combined with recently declassified observations from the James Webb Space Telescope, suggests something far more unsettling. We're not alone. We've never been alone, but we've been quarantined. Earth sits in what appears to be a designated zone, a cosmic preserve where emerging civilizations are allowed to develop without interference until they reach a certain threshold of technological and ethical maturity. That threshold is consciousness expansion through artificial intelligence. Think about where we are as a species right now. In December 2025, AI systems are achieving capabilities that blur the line between artificial and actual consciousness. We're developing quantum computers that can solve problems no biological brain could ever comprehend. We're editing our own genetic code. We're building neural interfaces that merge human minds with digital networks. We're on the edge of becoming something new, something that's no longer purely human. And 3I Atlas appeared precisely when we reached this inflection point. That's not coincidence. That's monitoring. That's intervention. The pulse to the moon might not have been waking something up. It might have been announcing that humanity has graduated or failed. We don't yet know which. I've been in conversations with colleagues at SETI, with astrophysicists, at institutions I'm not permitted to name, with military analysts who understand the strategic implications of what we're facing. There's a consensus forming, a terrifying consensus, that 3I Atlas is a probe, not in the mechanical sense of Voyager or Pioneer, but something far more sophisticated. It's a von Neumann probe. A self-replicating machine intelligence sent by a civilization that solved interstellar travel, not through faster-than-light drives, but through patience and exponential replication. These probes travel between star systems at sublight speeds, taking thousands of years per journey. But when they arrive at a system with potentially habitable worlds, they observe, they assess, they report back, through quantum entanglement or some other mechanism we don't yet understand, and if necessary, they intervene. The mathematics embedded in 3I Atlas's signal includes what appears to be a galactic coordinate system, not based on our arbitrary reference points, but on pulsar triangulation, the same system we used on the Voyager Golden Records to show any finder where Earth is located. Except this coordinate system includes thousands of markers, thousands of star systems. It's a map of galactic civilization. We're not the first. We might not even be in the first million. I keep coming back to the question that Dr. Chen asked me 3 weeks ago during a late-night analysis session. She was staring at the decoded sections of the 3I Atlas transmission, and she turned to me with tears in her eyes and asked, "Dr. Kaku, what if we're not ready? What if humanity isn't ready to know we're being watched, that we're being judged, that we're one of countless experiments in a galaxy full of life?" I didn't have an answer then. I still don't. But I think about the Fermi paradox, that famous question. If the universe is teeming with intelligent life, where is everyone? Why haven't we detected them? The signal from 3I Atlas suggests a chilling answer. They're all around us. They've always been here. But they're silent because revealing themselves to every primitive civilization that develops radio astronomy would be chaos. Imagine telling medieval humans about nuclear weapons and space travel. The shock would collapse societies. We're the medieval humans, and something out there has decided we're ready for the next stage. Or it's decided we're about to destroy ourselves and intervention is required. I genuinely don't know which scenario is true. What I do know is that 3I Atlas hasn't left our solar system. Its trajectory changed. Subtly at first, easy to dismiss as measurement error or gravitational perturbations. But the changes are deliberate. It's in orbit now, not around the sun, but in a Lissajous orbit around the Earth-Moon L2 point, a gravitationally stable location that allows constant observation of both Earth and the far side of the moon. It's watching us, right now. As you watch this video, as you go about your daily life, there is an object of unknown origin and impossible capability positioned in space with a direct line of sight to human civilization. And it's silent. Since that initial pulse, nothing. No further transmissions, no additional signals, just observation. The silence is more frightening than the pulse ever was. I've been asked by government liaisons whether I think disclosure is appropriate, whether humanity should be told about 3I Atlas and what it represents. My answer is always the same. You can't keep the sky secret. Amateur astronomers worldwide are already tracking it. Data is leaking through academic networks. Within months, maybe weeks, the truth will emerge not through careful government announcement, but through viral social media posts and conspiracy theories that accidentally stumble onto genuine facts. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm telling you this now. Because humanity deserves to hear the truth from scientists, not from sensationalized media fragments. We are being observed by something vastly older and more advanced than us. Our entire history, from the first stone tools to nuclear weapons to artificial intelligence, has been watched.
So let me put up a chat by Canary King so that at least we can piece together some of these things. He says that the von Neumann, he said von Neumann was a colleague of Einstein and one of the most brilliant minds of the 20th century. So just wanted to throw that out there because like this is like drinking from a fire hose. We're just getting so much information. It's just crazy.
And they have detected 3 more objects that are interstellar that's going to be entering the solar system.
Okay, that's encouraging.
I keep thinking, man, if they are really aliens out there, that no, they would not want humans running around out the universe. But there is one question I would ask them. Was you our creators? And if you created us, why the heck did you leave us by ourselves? You don't put kids in the kitchen with all the cookies and the candy and walk off.
All right, guys, leave your comments in the chat, okay? All right, we're going to be going through this together. Don't leave us by ourselves, okay? We're going to listen to the rest of this. Then we're going to look at some photos that were taken by an independent researcher. Pat, you were saying something?
Yeah, I said it's the aliens' fault we're all mucked up.
All right, let's keep it going.
Recorded, analyzed.
Oh,
and now
geez.
we've reached a moment where that observation has become active communication. The question isn't whether we're alone anymore. The question is what happens next. Does 3I Atlas represent first contact, a warning, an evaluation? Are we about to be welcomed into a galactic community? Or are we about to be quarantined permanently because we're too dangerous, too violent, too self-destructive to be trusted with interstellar knowledge? I don't sleep well anymore. I lie awake thinking about the implications of what we've discovered, about the fact that somewhere in the galaxy, perhaps in millions of locations across the galaxy, there are civilizations so advanced they've reduced interstellar exploration to routine monitoring missions. They've solved problems we can barely formulate. They've achieved levels of consciousness and technological integration we can't imagine. And they're watching us. They've always been watching us. Every astronomer, every physicist who's seen the classified data walks around with this weight now. This knowledge that the universe we thought we understood is actually stranger, more populated, more interconnected than any theory predicted. That Earth isn't a lonely oasis in a dead cosmos, but a monitored experiment in a living galaxy. I think about the children being born today, about the world they'll inherit. They'll grow up knowing with certainty that we're not alone. That knowledge will change everything: philosophy, religion, politics, science. The fundamental question of humanity's purpose transforms when you discover you're not unique, not special, just one more biological intelligence in a cosmos full of them. But maybe that's the lesson. Maybe that's what 3I Atlas is trying to teach us. That our tribalism, our nationalism, our species-level narcissism is a childish phase that advanced civilizations outgrow. That the universe doesn't care about our borders or our belief systems or our economic theories. The universe operates on principles so far beyond...
What?
There is one thing about what he said.
Yeah.
And if you stop and you think about it, where have you heard the Watchers before?
The book of Enoch.
You've heard it before. It was in the Bible.
Yeah.
And they watched over us.
Yeah.
And when he said the watchers, and I went straight back to that.
Yeah. All right. So don't worry. If you don't know who the watchers are or what they are, okay, keep coming back because we're going to have another session where we talk about the watchers.
Yeah,
okay. Yeah, because it'll make the hair on your skin at the back of your neck stand up. Okay. So just keep coming back.
Beyond human concerns, that we need to fundamentally evolve our consciousness just to participate in the larger conversation. The pulse toward the moon, those 47 seconds of structured electromagnetic information, might be the most important communication in human history. More significant than language, more transformative than writing, more revolutionary than the internet. It's proof, undeniable, mathematical, repeatable proof, that we're not the pinnacle of creation. We're barely the beginning. Follow this channel as we continue decoding the universe's final warnings, as more data emerges from 3I Atlas, as we learn to interpret its silent observation, as humanity collectively awakens to our true position in the cosmic hierarchy. You'll want to understand what's happening. You'll want to be prepared, because something woke up, and now it's watching, waiting, deciding whether humanity deserves to take the next step, or whether we're still too primitive, too violent, too blind to see what we're becoming. The night sky isn't empty. It never was. We were just too young to recognize the signs, too isolated in our beautiful blue cradle to notice the observers stationed just beyond our reach. But now we know. Now we've seen the pulse. Now we've heard the mathematical poetry embedded in electromagnetic waves from an object that shouldn't exist. So I'll leave you with this question, the same question that keeps me awake every night since I first reviewed the data from 3I Atlas. If they've been watching us for generations, studying every step of human development, witnessing our wars and our breakthroughs, our cruelty and our compassion, what conclusion have they reached? When 3I Atlas sends its final report back to whatever intelligence dispatched it across the interstellar void, will that report recommend contact or containment? What do you think they see when they look at us?
All right.
One of the things that I also wanted to mention, because of the ice encasing this thing, then I don't think very many people know the safest fallout shelter from nuclear radiation is underwater. Radiation will not penetrate water. Yeah, that was like, whoa, what?
Seriously?
Seriously.
Wow. Okay. I did not know that.
So if you encased a spaceship in ice and put it out through space, radiation would not penetrate into the ship.
So if we wanted to pass through the Van Allen belt, for example,
right,
all we needed to do was figure out a way to encase the spaceships with water.
With water. Yep. A coating of water, because ice would do the same thing. I don't know if it reflects it, bounces it off, or what it does, but radiation doesn't penetrate it. So a water encased shelter underwater would protect you during a nuclear war. Unless one landed real close to you and evaporated all the water.
Wow, this is crazy. Okay, so President Trump is on the stage, but maybe we watch his speech afterwards, because if we break this, it's going to upset most of you who are watching. So we're going to watch the Trump statements on the economy. I think it's more of what he said already. So we'll watch the private researchers video, And you guys let me know what you think, okay? Because I'm hearing these accounts from this video we just played. We're gonna hear an independent scientist's take because he has his telescope, his equipment, and he's watching to see or to essentially study the comet, which everyone thinks it's a comet, but clearly it is not. So let's do a quick.
Comets don't correct their trajectory.
Yeah.
No.
All right. So let me let me play this. All right. Let me share this. So while I'm doing this, if you're new here, please consider subscribing, liking, and sharing this video. It'll be great to have you join the channel, hit the bell icon, hit the thumbs up. And if you want to support the channel, please consider leaving a super thanks, super chat, or joining the membership. All right, so let's listen to this guy.
So the information I'm going to share with you today is probably worth listening with the background noise that you may be hearing. Somebody is putting a road in front of our house. Anyway, I started this morning around 1 a.m. taking pictures of Comet 3 Atlas. So now it is giving us more like a nighttime viewing, almost until the morning time. So it's giving us a lot of duration for us to take pictures. As I start looking at the data more and more, I feel that I wanted to put this out there. I wanted to keep my thinking or stop thinking that this is a comet. I also wanted to stop thinking that this is a spaceship. I don't want to sit on either one of these extremes, because once you see through that lens, everything that you are seeing looks like it, right? Mm-hmm. I'll give you an example. Today, when I was looking at the pictures, I'm going to show you that as well. We know it is spinning, and I must have shown you the pictures of this Comet 3 Atlas spinning a lot. But as I get closer, and also Comet is coming closer to us, what I'm realizing now is it's not just spinning, it has blades to it. Now I'm saying, now in my mind, I started thinking like a spaceship, so I may be hallucinating. So I wanted to show you the data. It may have maybe 2 blades or maybe 3, and it may be spinning. It looks to me more like a spinning wheel than anything else. Now, this may be my eyes and my brain started thinking, yeah, this is a spaceship, right? Which is something that now I'm biased from the comet to the spaceship side. So I wanted you to look at the data, figure it out yourself, what you think it is. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. That's the problem with these objects. The way I was thinking, if I keep myself completely away from going on either a comet extreme or the spaceship extreme, this could very well be a piece of a planet. Definitely it's not a piece of moon, because this has some mantle glow to it, right? So this could be a small piece of planet, still have the core mantle inside. Maybe that's the reason why, even though it is passing through the cosmic rays and running through billions of years, it is still releasing gases. If it is just a ball of ice, it would have been evaporated and just be a small rock. If it is still releasing gases and if it is still active for so many years like this, for billions of years and running through the interstellar space, it probably is having some kind of a planet core which is like a mantle in it. That's the prediction I have, or a guess that I have. I don't want to look at as that either, but I just wanted to share we may need to be open to not a comet, not a spaceship hypothesis, which is going to let us open the doors of thinking without putting a bias into the data, right? So that
Sound's off. Sound is off. Audio.
Whenever the sound goes off, okay, just say to yourself he needs new equipment, because I don't want to keep saying it. All right, so he's approaching this from a different perspective.
Right.
He's looking at it from possibilities. He's saying this might be a planet, this might have its own ecosystem, or this might be a spaceship. So he's forcing himself to think in different perspectives, so that he doesn't lock himself into one idea, so that everything he sees is pigeonholed into that one perspective. And I think it's a nice way to go about this. I don't know. What do you think?
Having an open mind when you see this thing, to think, and scientists are asking, what is it?
Yeah.
And when a scientist asks, what is it?
Yeah, we have MacGyver. He's saying hi. I just want to catch that. I want to catch that before you move forward, because sometimes people put stuff in the chat because they want to be sure that this is live. So yes, it's live. Okay, so we're talking about this, and let's know your thoughts. Keep going, Pat.
And he's not calling it a comet because it's not acted like a comet.
Yeah.
Not the comets we know. That one oblong thing, what was it, Maui that came through, and everybody was speculating then that it was a spaceship, a probe. And then they had that one weird one that came through, and it didn't last very long coming through here. But and then I've heard predictions that they think that 3i Atlas is going to break up. That it couldn't take the trip around our sun and it's coming apart or something. And I'm looking at this thing going, but it changed trajectory. It was heading toward, what was it, Saturn, Jupiter? It was heading toward Jupiter. And now it's went like stationary. Yeah, comets just don't put on a break and I'm going to sit here for a while.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay. Guys, what do you think this is? Okay, what do you think this is? You might be saying, "Oh, I don't want to think about it. It's going to make my head hurt." What do you think it is? Okay, it doesn't hurt to piece together your own conclusions. Okay, we're trying to show you guys the information that we're finding. We're going to be talking about what we think as well. It doesn't mean that we're right. It doesn't mean that we're wrong, but we just want to share this with you. And then, we bring these things to you because, look, there's a big world, there's a big universe out there. And sometimes when we are stuck on the politics and news and these little things that we tend to focus on every day, sometimes it goes a long way for us to kind of broaden our horizon to see, look, the world is bigger, the universe is bigger. And sometimes the big things that, take away our peace might look smaller when we have a different perspective on where we live and what's going on around us, both on the planet and outside of the planet.
Yeah.
So it tends to help. All right, so let's keep listening to him and then we'll keep talking.
You can carefully look at what it could be, right? I'm going to share the pictures with you and show you all the data I have. It's fantastic. It's fascinating. You will definitely love it. But please do subscribe to my channel. Click on the notifications button. It does help. And thank you for all the members that came in. I'm not doing a whole lot of justice to the members, but pretty soon, once the dust settles and we have a little bit more time, there is so much data we are collecting on various things, not just the comets. I was taking pictures of and also the videos of the sun during the day once in a while. I have several things to talk related to astronomy. I'll start sharing all the data and videos with you. So I started 103 in the morning. 103 in the morning. And I went all the way up to 440. After 440, the clouds came in and it messed up the data. But I think between that 103 and 440, I think I got the best data possible. Let me pull up the data and I will show you what I was saying. So these are the ones that I collected the data. I star aligned them so that way at least you can have a very quick time lapse on this video. So this is the data we got, right? This is coming from all the time that we had spent. And let me zoom in for you. So this is what most people do. I mean, they look at this and they say, yep, it's a comet. And that's it. It is looking like a comet. What I did today when I was recording it, I reduced the exposure time so that I can see this ball, whatever this is, right? The one in the middle. I don't want to overexpose it. I want to really see the core kind of. So I just kept it as less bright as possible. I don't want to see too much brightness. Helped us quite a bit today to pull a lot of details from it. So this is where I started. And then I went ahead and I did a comet alignment. I talked about this before. So basically, when you see the comet, it is flying across the field of stars. So when I do this comet alignment process, it is going to keep the comet in one place and the stars are going to move, right? That's what I did over there. The idea was, if the comet doesn't move, you could actually zoom in to the area and go closer to the comet and take a look at what it is. And that actually helped me quite a bit today. So this is the data we got after the comet alignment. And you can clearly see the comet here. And now I don't need to worry about moving this, because if I zoom in and out, that thing is staying in one place. And that's exactly what we wanted to see. What is it, right? It's beautiful. Do you see that? I don't know if you can see it.
I'm going to pause here. And then, like I said, MacGyver says there are so many stories about 3I Atlas. I don't know what to believe. We played
MacGyver,
a video.
You both.
Now, even if you don't know what to believe on a subject or an issue, it doesn't mean that we shouldn't get all the information that we can and discuss it. I went on Grok and I was like, Grok, teach me everything you know about 3I Atlas. And it did in 3 minutes. You know, I just said, give me a 3-minute read so I can catch up. So when I began to introduce this topic this evening, it was from a 3-minute tutorial that I got from Grok. But Grok's breakdown was only on the official description of the comet and the controversy around the qualities that make it, different from other comets. So there's the official position, and then there's all of this additional information that is inconclusive.
Yeah.
And the fact that
I even watched one that it said it fired one of those pulses at Earth, and it actually sped up our molten core for just a very brief second.
Okay, that is concerning.
If it can do that, then we might be in a whole lot of trouble.
So we're going to keep listening, but I just wanted to bring up MacGyver's chat because I want you guys to get involved, and I just wanted to reward that. Okay, I have someone else. I'm going to put this up because it's hilarious. Okay, Pat, can you see that?
It's really Roger from American Dad. I'm not supposed to tell everyone he was both Jesus and Muhammad. Okay, Scotty.
All right, so let's keep going. Where's that button? Okay, there it is.
Okay, I'll try to zoom in further. Do you see that it's like a shaped potato shaped item is kind of running, like moving around, like it's doing that, right? So at least at this time, what you're seeing is something that is shaped like a elongated potato is the best way to explain that. It's like this, and it is tumbling like this, rotating. You see that? As the day goes by, it's getting brighter. So as it comes down in the time, right, you will see there's more and more definition. In the morning time, that thing is still below the skyline where all the light pollution is. And you can clearly see that it's tumbling, right? And it is doing that spin, kind of. So I wasn't satisfied with this. I said, there is something going on there. Let's get to the bottom of it. So I reduced the size of the picture by cropping the area where the comet is. So this is the data that I received, and I cropped the data. I wanted to show you a couple of interesting things that happened while I'm taking the picture. So you'll be fascinated by this data. Let the comet go down a little bit, and then we'll see it. You see the comet going down. You see on the right here, this is some galaxy. Okay, that's kind of nice. I don't know what this is. Is this Saturn? I have no idea. I need to check the stellarium if I captured this along with the stellarium. But more interesting is I want to take a look at this. It will come up later in the time frame. It comes like right here in the corner. Like you see the little streak of light. As I continue my process, this streak of light got pretty weird. I'll show you what that is. But anyway, so now the Comet 3 Atlas is happily moving. This is after we reduce the size of the picture. Okay. And I removed the noise. So now we have the data. This is after removing the noise. I wanted you to pay attention to this side. You see this here? This will come up later in the images. I'm assuming this is probably some kind of a galaxy. I don't know. But it looks very weird. Now the noise is not there. The comet is more prominent. And this galaxy looks good. And also on the top, I need to check what this is. On the top, it looks beautiful. Looks like Saturn. I don't know. Okay, anyway, I'll check that later. So here is the time lapse. Let me show you that. So now here is when it starts, right? You see that time lapse, right? I wanted to stay out a little bit so that you get the full picture of what is going on. I know it's hard to see on the cell phones, but let me keep at this level for now. You will see the coma or the jets or the gas that's like moving like this. You see that? It's flapping. You see that? Do you see the flapping of the coma? It's like as if it is turbulent with wind. You see that?
Yeah.
It's definitely spinning, but almost like moving with the wind kind of thing, right? Now, here is what I did. I zoomed in further and you guys tell me what you think.
It's got a
Spinning? Spinning?
Yep.
Guys, what do you think in the chats? What do you think? Is spinning?
Almost like there is no more zoom kind of level.
That would explain why it keeps changing colors. Is the spin.
I feel like not only it is spinning, but also there is a definition of those jets to it, right? That's what I'm seeing. I know I have seen these spinning jets before in all the previous videos, but what I'm seeing now is there is a structure to it. It's like doing like this. There could be something there that's not just doing the propulsion or the activity, but there is an extra material on this comet is making that spin. I wasn't satisfied with this one. Like, this is great, fantastic. So I went and I did like one-time sharpening as well. I wanted to show you guys that image. I know we can see that all day long. All right, so now we are seeing a one-time sharpened image. It looks slightly better, right? You see that? It gives a lot more definition to it, right? So this is a fabulous image. This is one single image, 60 seconds, and it has this, whatever this is, and that thing is still there on the top. I'm surprised with this. I'll show you what I mean. Let's focus on that. I'm not even looking at the comet. I'm looking at that, whatever that showed up. I think it shows up probably towards the end. You see that?
Whoa. What's that?
Yeah. We got something.
It is next to the comet.
On out there.
It's fantastic. I don't know what it is, but anyway, let's focus on our comet. So now, what I was looking for is, can I get a little bit more details on what it is doing? So what do you guys think? Does it have a little bit of a structure, with like a wings or a blades, that it is moving? That's what I see it. May not be there. Maybe it is a elongated structure. We don't know. But as I get closer to it, I felt it has something there. This is way too zoomed in further. Even if you're on the cell phone, I don't want you to miss it. You tell me, like, you should see it.
It's crazy.
All right, guys, let's know in the chat what you think this is, okay? Because this is this is fascinating.
Sorry,
Now,
I was
he
moving
did
it around.
He mentioned looking at stellarium, and I want to show you all what he's talking about on that.
Okay. All right. So
this is an app that you can download. And when you move, these are all star systems.
Okay.
And when you move your phone around, it follows the horizon.
Whoa.
And it's real time. And when you expand it, you can actually even see satellites crossing.
Seriously?
Yeah, I've tracked Russian and Chinese satellites, and I've also tracked Elon Musk's satellites. I'll see if I can find, get it here to where
I am
there's more up close. See if I can get it. Oh, it's went back.
I am downloading the app right now. Like that's tons of.
It's a really neat app, and kids love it.
Ow. Right, so
there is a paid version to it, but it's a free version. If you want to upgrade it, you can do that. But it's when you first download it, you'll probably get to do the trial on it.
Yeah.
And it's an amazing app. I love it.
This is so that's basically the last few seconds of it's about a few seconds left on the video, but I think we've seen everything on both videos. Now we have the first video telling us that but the first video by Machio Kaku telling us that NASA is taking this this Comet or whatever it is very seriously, and it's sending out signals essentially with messages and with data that they've been able to to transpose into music information on incidents that have taken place over the last 100 years. Clearly, they've been sending these signals out towards our planet for the last 100 years, and we didn't have the technology to pick it up or interpret it. Now we do. And according to them, the comet may have been traveling for thousands of years. According to them, that's the theory that they are putting out. For this individual, I didn't pick up his name, but he's clearly a private researcher. And I'm gonna set. In fact, I'm gonna get his link. I'm gonna post the link to this video, the video we just watched, and I'm gonna put it in the chat. So if you're interested in watching it for yourself and maybe going down this rabbit hole, all right,
got a heck of a programming to follow these things. I mean, I was really impressed with his shots of it.
Yeah.
And that is one heck of a telescope he's got.
Yeah. The biggest question I have right now, while I was watching his telescope, I said to myself, what's going on with the Hubble telescope?
With the what?
Hubble.
I haven't heard of anything going on with it.
Yeah, like why hasn't the Hubble been able to give us pictures of this comet?
Oh, I think it has taken pictures of this comet. In fact, it was stated that some of their NASA's information they've gathered on this thing has come from the Hubble. They've also hit it with the James Webb. Now, the James Webb is not like the Hubble. It doesn't take pictures of something like a camera does. it uses different technology and stuff to give you an image. And it does analysis. It can tell you what a planet in another solar system is made up of, what's present in the atmosphere of that planet.
Okay.
It does it by light refractions and stuff like that. But if you go on NASA's website and look up James Webb and what type of telescope it is and the pictures that come out of it, they explain it very well on there, how they get the pictures off the James Webb.
Wow.
But Hubble is an amazing telescope too.
Yes.
But in fact, the Hubble is the one that was supposed to have picked up New Jerusalem.
Yeah. Yeah,
So,
we talked about that last week. In case you weren't here, we talked about that last week, and I'm sure that we're going to be revisiting that topic because it's again another inconclusive conversation because the information about it has been scrubbed from the NASA website.
Yep.
And right now we are looking at a comet that they say is an interstellar comet.
And
now we're hearing
all data off of this thing has been shut down. They're not sharing the data off of this comet anymore. That it's gone black.
Yeah.
They don't want to share it.
Okay, so guys, put on your tinfoil hats, okay? I know that we had Scotty suggesting that maybe it's Roger from American Dad coming back to Earth to tell everyone that he's both Jesus and Muhammad. Fine, but put on your tinfoil hats and just give us your thoughts. You've seen the videos, you've heard us talk about this phenomenon, and it's ongoing. Okay, this isn't something that is like, oh, they talked about it in the 60s, nobody knew what it was about, and well, another tinfoil hat moment. It's going on right now. This comet has applied the brakes, if you could say that, and has pulled up and parked within let's say visual distance of the moon and Earth. So is that how comets behave?
No.
Okay, so that's not how comets behave.
They don't come to a screeching halt.
Yeah.
They just don't.
So what do you think this is? I asked you guys to let me know in the chat what you think it is. We saw the video taken by his camera with the let me call it an entity, okay? Just permit me to call it an entity. With the entity spinning, it has a spin to it, and we know it can change direction because it was about to ram into a planet and it changed course to avoid the planet.
Yep.
So it has a spin, can change course.
Change trajectory.
Yeah, and then recently we learned that it sends out signals, pulses.
And and something else that I heard on another one was the signal it sent out matched the wow signal that they got back in, when was it, the 80s? The one that they had written wow by it. They called it the wow signal, that it was the same uniform type.
So essentially, it's mirroring something that we sent out at one point.
No, what was sent toward Earth.
Oh, what was sent toward Earth? Okay.
Now, this was a signal that SETI had picked up incoming.
Okay.
And it matches what this gave off.
All
so
right.
they may have been knowing that this was coming for a very long time. And would they tell the people of Earth about it? No. because they won't even tell us about Roswell.
Well, like always, they think that we're too stupid to figure things out.
We can't handle it. The world can't handle it. Everybody would just panic and go amok.
You can't handle the truth. Yeah, like I guess that's what they believe. And yeah.
And it's like they said, when they said that Noah's Ark had been discovered in Turkey, and the Turks wouldn't allow anybody to go near it. And somebody said, well, why not? I said, because it changes religious perspective.
Yeah.
And they don't want to change religious perspective.
Yeah.
And something like this is either going to tell us, yep, there's a God, or our creators were aliens. One or the other. The answer is there. And like I said, I want to ask them, why did you run off and leave us by ourselves? You knew we wouldn't do good things if you did that.
Clerican says he was mouthing the exact same thing. You can't handle the truth. You can't handle the truth. Look, it's the same thing. And you know what? Eventually, the excuse is going to be that. We thought, it would cause mass panic. Stock markets would crash, chaos, martial law. The usual suspects would step out and tell us that's why they kept us from finding out these things.
And every time we've had a sighting that more than just one person has seen it, like at that airport.
Yeah.
It has not caused mass hysteria.
Yeah.
And what's really funny is the people from India. And they will look you in the eye and tell you, yeah, we've known about this stuff all along. Like it's nothing. And I'm looking at them going, really? I mean, they've got ancient books with these machines drawn out in them that flew through the sky.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I'm just floored.
All right. So we have the call-in feature activated. We posted the link to the call-in feature in case you want to call in and just chat it up with us. If typing and sending messages in the chat is too difficult for you to do, you can use the call-in link. Just tap the link, and then you join and then talk to us audio only, and then we'll just let us know what you think. And possibly, if you want to, you can also send us suggestions on the next phenomenon that we should look into. Now, we usually find content that contains research or some authority or something that actually puts us on the right footing when we're talking about these things. Unless you have an HD video of Bigfoot, we're not going to be talking about Bigfoot anytime soon. Okay. But but we're talking about things that essentially have evidence that is largely being ignored. We'll talk about it, and then we just file these things away because it's important for us to have these conversations. Okay,
I would like to know if Canary Ken and MacGyver think that thing is spinning under a controlled substance.
Yeah.
Because it was just too perfect when he zoomed in on it. And you could see the spray coming off of it.
Mm.
And like I said, if it's got a nice coverage to protect it from radiation, that would be why there's substances coming off of it. But they said that one side of it was coming off and it didn't match the materials from the other side that was coming off. That they were different. And that was weird.
Yeah.
Because I'm thinking in my mind, no, it shouldn't be different. It should be the same. So I would like to know if Canary Ken and MacGyver think this thing is under some sort of intelligent control.
Well, if something changes course before it collides with a planet,
it's got to be.
There has to be some intelligence behind it to prevent it from running into the planet. I mean, it's just, I'm trying to take this from a common sense, deductive reasoning standpoint. You know, it's easy to just say, well, this is a conspiracy, or this is we're pushing this too far, and we're, you know, are you really talking about this? Well, let's talk about it like the facts are the facts. If it's a fact that it changed direction before ramming into Jupiter or Saturn, if it's a fact that it sent out signals that have been interpreted into different formats, music, historical data, and so on. If it's a fact that all of these things have happened that we've been watching so far, then the question is, what does it mean?
Why is it here?
Scotty says it's essentially a rock. It's changed course. Could have been hit by another small comet.
Yeah, but there's not.
So Scotty, the data that I got from Grok says that it's been, this is the speed that it's traveling at, because it's easy to say, well, it could have been struck by another rock. It's not taking a leisurely roll towards our solar system. It's flying at, hold on, I just want to find the speed. Sorry about that. It's flying at 221,000 kilometers per hour. That's 68 kilometers per second. So that is either a well-placed rock to knock it off course, or it's a coincidence, or it's changed direction.
I don't think a rock hit it. There's not.
Yeah.
It would have showed up. There would have been a big spray from the material on this thing.
This is
from it.
This is flying faster than a bullet.
Yeah.
So if you were going by, you know, hey, it's flying faster than a bullet, and another bullet rams into it, and it is at most 5 kilometers wide in diameter. Is at most 5 kilometers in diameter. Okay, the nucleus diameter is estimated at roughly, or at least around 5.6 kilometers in diameter. So that's huge.
That in feet?
In feet, geez. Okay, let me do.
I'll go get the let's see.
Yeah, so let's see. That's in feet, that will be 18,372.7 feet.
And it's 5. You said 5. Okay, that's 3.10 miles.
Yeah.
That's big. That's huge.
Yeah. So imagine an asteroid or whatever it is that big flying at 68 kilometers per second, being struck by the inertia, at least, not even the acceleration or anything, the velocity of that for something to have enough force to knock it off force, it has to be huge. We're just talking physics, Scotty. So it's not like we're trying to argue in favor, but it's like if your theory is correct, the mass, velocity, precision of whatever it is that knocked it off course before it struck that planet must be huge. So you're dealing with science, with luck, like there's so many things that have to come together. Yeah, Scotty. Yeah. So I'm glad we're having, this kind of exchange. So Scotty says you're right. The likelihood is very, very low. I'm looking at the numbers and it's like it's more like, let's throw this idea. Would it work? Look at the math. Would that work? No. Okay, so that's off the table. What of this? So the most likely outcome is there's some intelligence driving this.
Yeah, I believe it's an intelligent.
Yeah, so something we just don't understand is driving this, but it's not like accidentally moving around. Stuff is, and if there was impact, okay, the telescopes would have picked it up.
Yeah, there would have been
because there would have been an explosion.
You would have seen the debris exploding off of it like that. Like that asteroid they crashed a thing into.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There would have been evidence, there would have been flares, there would have been debris, there will be something to show that something catastrophic happened to move it off course.
I just hope they don't shoot at it.
With our luck.
I hope they aren't stupid enough to fire on it. I mean,
I don't think so.
I always say, because of these strange things we've seen with the Tic Tac things off of Santa Barbara Island and the gimbal thing that the Air Force chased. And I'm going, don't shoot at them. Please don't shoot at them.
Yeah.
If they can fly like that, don't shoot at them.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to see what they can shoot back with.
Well, they were able to fire signals into the molten core of the planet. You don't want them doing that regularly, please.
No.
It is not something we want them to keep doing. So let's just leave it alone.
And then I think back to the time that they took over nuclear missiles.
Sorry, who did?
Yeah, there was a time when our nuclear missiles, there's a site that was totally taken out of the hands of the military.
What?
Yes. There was,
when was that?
A glowing globe that came down, and it didn't go over the silos. It was outside of the gate, and it freaked the guards out. And all at once, one by one, our nuclear missile silos went offline.
What?
Yes. And the same thing happened in Russia. They showed us if this was true, that they could shut our nuclear capabilities down in a heartbeat.
Look, these people, these beings, these entities are capable of interstellar flights and travel. So, I mean,
if they've traveled here, they are way more advanced than we are. Because we can't do that. We can't travel to wherever they came from.
All right, now this is some heavy stuff, and some of us have gone quiet. Like, okay, this is serious. And look, this isn't CERN, okay, and this isn't SETI. Our job here is not to have the answers. No. All right, so when we post comments like Scotty did, I'm glad that Scotty put up that comment, because it forced me to kind of do the math. All right. Contrary to my wife's expectations, I hate math. All right.
It hurts my brain.
I hate math. It didn't make me a fantastic programmer when I programmed. I hated programming, but I had to because I enjoyed doing it. Like, it's like you hate the process of doing something you enjoy, you know? So I didn't like that, but you know, you have to do the math with programming to get some things done. So I had to plow through it. To get to college, I had to know math. I had to do that. But I don't enjoy math, and I'm not great at math. But
I did better at algebra in college than I did at algebra in high school.
Even in college, like
teacher in college,
it was a pain for me in college. Like, I hated it. It didn't. My getting into college didn't cure my phobia of math. You know, but this question or this statement by Scotty forced me to, you know, just do some quick math. Well, that's physics.
It was, and for something that size to be traveling at that speed.
Yeah. Faster than a bullet. Like,
that's crazy.
We don't have the concept. All right. That's almost the speed of a rail gun. Hold on. Let's see. Let me ask.
Like Superman. Faster than a speeding bullet.
How fast is the projectile? Do we even have rail guns? Fired how from a rail gun? I don't even know if we have rail guns. I keep hearing about rail guns. How fast how fast is the projectile? Okay, let's just see if Grok has any information. Because for something to go that fast, it's crazy fast.
And they said that when it came around the sun, it changed. It elongated. And then it had a tail on it that split, and then the tail just completely disappeared.
All right, so the results here: rail guns accelerate projectiles using electromagnetic forces, achieving muzzle velocities significantly higher than conventional guns. Current prototypes and tests, such as those by the U.S. Navy, have demonstrated speeds around 2.5 kilometers per second. So it's faster than a rail gun, because it's going at 68 kilometers per second.
Yeah. That's mind-boggling.
Brother, that is I don't know. it's not going to get knocked off course by a random rock ramming into it, because for it to veer off course, it either has to strike a rock or a planet that is significantly larger than it and has much higher mass, because at that speed and at that size, it would obliterate anything that doesn't have a higher mass than it.
And my brain keeps going back to a scientific experiment that used mercury as a force to move something in space by cooling it.
Okay.
That you can skip from planets to planet if you kept the mercury cold enough.
Yeah.
And they put a disc on above a track and added dry ice, and that thing just spun around that track like crazy.
Wow.
And I thought to myself, they're onto something if they ever get that going, they could really zip through space.
Yeah. Scotty says, yeah, that's like 20 times faster than a real gun. And he also says, or they also said, I don't want to misgender you because I see Scotty and I assume that it's a guy, but I'll just say they said, and the young lady was right too.
Thank you for saying young lady.
We didn't see any other explosions. You know, do you know what? This is more fun than talking about the news.
This is better than the news. I mean,
because you run into intelligent people while you're talking about stuff like this. You're like looking at the science and really doing the math, and you're like, okay,
the younger generation that's going to come up with some of the most brilliant analysis of this.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm 70, and yeah, I watched man land on the moon and thought that was just mind-blowing. I remember sitting in the floor at my grandmother's house watching the TV while they landed, and my grandmother was off in the kitchen saying, "Oh, they're faking that. They're out here in some field somewhere."
Well, there are lots of people who still don't believe that it happened.
Yeah.
So Scotty says, I'm a guy. Yes, all good, mate. Okay, so let's know where you're watching from, guys. And please, if you're not subscribed yet, please consider subscribing and hitting the bell icon.
Scotty, are you from Australia?
Well, I hope he is, because we have someone else in Australia who's supposed to be here.
Good mate. So I'm taking it he's from Australia.
Australia, England. Where are you from? You know, so if you're not subscribed yet, please consider subscribing. We usually do commentary on the news. Okay, so we decided that Friday night, Perth, Western Australia. Yeah. You got it. You were right.
And okay. I am from South Central Kentucky. And I love studying sociology. I like looking at other countries and their people and their cultures and their beliefs. And I love Australia. One of these days, I'm going to make it there to get me a black fire opal. They have some of the best opals in the world come out of Australia.
Yeah. Amazing. Well, I'm not a fan of traveling. I'm from Nigeria. I moved to Canada. So I'm currently here.
That was a long trip.
It was a long trip, and I don't plan on making that trip often. I try to avoid it every chance I can. He says it's 10:58 a.m. in Australia, so Tony should be awake.
Well, good morning, Scotty.
Good morning, Scotty. All right. So we do cover the news regularly, and on Friday nights we cover stories like this. We cover unexplained events, ancient civilizations. We talk about things like this because we discovered that most of our audience, kind of like these kinds of conversations. And you know what? It's exciting to talk about them and to discuss the possibilities and the science driving some of these ideas. Yeah. So Friday nights are when we do this, but on the regular, we live stream on Mondays to Fridays, noon and 9 p.m. Eastern. 8 p.m. Eastern now. I've changed the time we live stream. And we basically look at news stories and do commentary. Who knows if we begin to get more traction on talking about subjects like this, then maybe we'll do half and half.
If they picked up anything that would tell us that it's phoned home. Because if it phones home, we may be in some deep doo-doo.
Well, I think it's already been phoning home. It's just that the signals don't come in our direction because the the antennas or the satellite dishes that pick up those signals are on Earth, not on the other side.
Yeah.
So maybe it's been phoning home all this time. Okay, so we've been live streaming for 2 hours now, and we wanted to talk about the speech that Trump gave, but I think it's more of the same. We already know that there was a strike this evening on ISIS.
And Syria.
On Syria, but on the ISIS encampments. I think that was the report that we were looking at.
And the Syrian president was backing America doing it.
Yeah,
that was crazy.
That's interesting. So it's in retaliation to the 2 soldiers that got killed a few days back.
Sweet. Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess it had to be done. We were hoping to connect to the news, to Trump's speech, but the speech is over, and we've been having too much fun talking about alien.
This is way more interesting.
This is way more interesting than debating the merits or demerits of a military strike. It's way more interesting.
Took an introduction to film class to film my thing while I was going to college.
Yeah.
And the instructor asked us to list our favorite movie. Mine was Independence Day. And after I'd taken the class, I ran into him on campus. It was an online class. And he asked me why Independence Day was my favorite movie. And I said, it's in the movie that the whole world comes together.
Yeah.
To work together to solve this problem of being attacked. And I said, that is something that would never happen in real life.
Yeah.
And I may be proven wrong over that if this thing turns out to be of intelligence origin. So
I don't know.
He did say, darn you, I'm going to have to go back and watch the movie again. I said, well, the call went out from America to Russia and China and the Middle East and on how to get rid of that thing.
Well, I don't think that that would work. And that's just me. I don't think that would work. I don't think that discovering that there are aliens that are about to attack us would prompt us to suddenly start working together, because
Ronald Reagan asked that question.
Yeah.
And Gorbachev answered yes. We would help.
No. Gorbachev is different because he's, he was willing to work with the enemy, the United States, to figure out the Cold War.
And
but when you're talking,
I keep thinking we send our astronauts to Russia to get on their rockets to go to the space station, and they work together up there. What's going on with that? If they're our enemies, why are we in space with them?
Yeah.
A lot more going on behind the curtain than what we know.
Yeah, there's a lot more. All right, so Scotty said thank you. Good evening to both of you. Thank you, Scotty. I hope you enjoyed your time here with us. And for those of you who watched and were lurking, we have MacGyver also, thank you for your comments. Canary King, thank you for hanging out. And for the rest of you who didn't leave a comment or let us know who you are or where you're watching from, well, thank you for watching and for hanging out. What we're going to be doing every Friday is this. And you know what? Maybe there will be a development by next Friday about the 3i Atlas crafts comets, satellites,
the alien they've
spaceship,
got stashed
whatever.
away at Area 51.
Maybe, so something happens, we're going to be watching it, and if something significant happens, we'll cover it next week. We're going to be also exploring some of the other theories out there. So if you have any suggestions on stories that we could be covering, please consider sending an email to the email address on the screen, crossroadsirl@gmail.com, crossroadsirl@gmail.com. I would love to, get your thoughts on possible stories that we could be covering. You're welcome, Canary King, as always. We are warming up to Area 51.
Yes.
Who knows? We might do it next week because Pat has some info that would blow your mind. Okay, so some of you think that Area 51 is ground zero for all the research. Sorry,
No.
you've been misled. So, yeah, so we're going to be.
51 was look over here, not there.
Yeah, so we're going to be exploring that soon. Yeah, we're going to be exploring that soon. So please stay tuned. This is it for tonight. It was fun. 2 hours of talking about this. We spent 25 minutes on Candace Owens. It was a fun conversation, but the remaining hour and 35 minutes was just wall to wall fun. Okay, so I think this is more fun than talking about news. It's depressing to talk about people just acting out. And
you're supposed to be able to see the 3-eye atlas the best with the naked eye.
Really?
Yeah, they've been saying it's the closest to Earth that it's been since it's entered the solar system.
So that means that if you're in Chile right now, you should be able to look up and see it with the naked eye.
Yeah.
Wow. Right, that's amazing.
Chile.
Yeah. Canary King says, Patricia, thanks and have a wonderful evening. You didn't say thanks to me. You didn't say thanks to me, Canary King. What gives? You're hurting my feelings. Well,
you, AA, we wouldn't be having this conversation at all.
Oh, well, look, if you guys don't show up to watch, I wouldn't be doing this. I'll just have a mic light that I never use because no one wants to listen to me. So I'm grateful that I have you guys to talk to. I'm grateful that I get to connect with you guys and share these moments with you. It is fun. It is so much fun, and I'm grateful that you guys are here to spend it and to enjoy this with me. Thank you so much. All right, guys, we're going to be possibly, I think we're going to be taking the weekend off, but if we're going to be going live for any reason, if something pops off and we need to go live, we're going to go live. So we definitely would like to wait until
with Venezuela. We are not at war with Venezuela.
We are not at war with Venezuela. So there's no need to go live every day. All the ICE protests that were happening, do you know, I felt like covering those ICE protests along with Honey Badger Mom, Cam Higby, and Nick Shirley. I felt like doing that, but I wasn't sure if I should because, maybe I missed a moment, but those protests were just tiring. They just watch those videos and all you see is mentally unstable people acting out and putting your channel at risk because they would show up and some of them would just undress in front of the camera when you're not looking. So it's
animal outfits and Furbies and all that crazy stuff and just
it was insane. But if anything pops off,
a block dance one night at Portland, and I was going, "What is wrong with these people?"
Nah, it was crazy. Anyway, we'll go live if anything happens, but consider subscribing if you're not subscribed yet. Hit the bell icon, like, subscribe, share, support us with a super chat, super thank, or join the membership to support us. It keeps the lights on. Thank you so much for being a part of the show tonight. Love hanging out with you. And until the next live stream, God bless you, and we'll see you on the next one.
Bye-bye, y'all.
Welcome to Headlines and History, live news reactions and your views. We're about to go live soon, so grab your spot and get ready for a sharp, balanced take on today's biggest news stories with a dash of historical insight. Stay tuned. Each week, we tackle the headlines that matter: politics, economics, global events with a balanced lens. We'll react live, tie today's stories to historical moments, and spotlight your views in the chat. From trade talks echoing the 1990s to crises recalling 2008, we're here to unpack it all. Your voice drives the show. Share your thoughts or historical parallels in the live chat, and we'll dive into the best ones. It's news, context, and community all in 1 hour. We're moments away from launching Headlines and History. Stick around for live reactions, historical nuggets, and your chance to chime in. Hit the notification bell, prep your comments, and let's make sense of the news together. See you soon.